सो वेलकम टू चैनल वाईटी सक्सेस। हम तुम्हारा क्लास का स्टेक होल्डर्स पढ़ाई हुआ था। स्टेक होल्डर्स क्या है? पर्सन्स हैविंग इंटरेस्ट ऑन कंसर्न फॉर समथिंग इज कॉल्ड स्टेक होल्डर। दे डिपेंड ऑन फॉरेस्ट। जैसे कि कौन हो सकता है? जो लोकल पीपुल। सो लोकल पीपुल डिपेंड ऑन फॉरेस्ट फॉर देयर सर्वाइवल के लिए डिपेंड करते हैं। ये आई हैड टोल्ड यू एंड आई ऑल्सो टोल्ड यू दैट फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट, जो गवर्नमेंट जो ओन्स द लैंड एंड कंट्रोल द रिसोर्स दैट आर प्रेजेंट इन फॉरेस्ट, दे आर दी फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट। नेक्स्ट आता है हमारा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, हु यूज वेरियस फॉरेस्ट प्रोडक्ट and for making other product. That means they take the forest product as raw material. Clear? Next, wildlife enthusiasts who want to conserve nature. So they are all the stakeholders. Then बोला था sustainable management. I had told you that about sustainable management. Management forest resources to make it for future generation. That is our सस्टेनेबल मैनेजमेंट। और एक बार बोल रहा हूँ, हम फॉरेस्ट को मैनेजमेंट करेंगे रिसोर्स एंड व्हिच वाइजली इट विल बी अवेलेबल फॉर फ्यूचर जनरेशन। फ्यूचर जनरेशन के इट विल बी अवेलेबल, सो दैट इज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट। टू कंसिडर द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट, व्हाट वी नीड टू लुक एट द स्टेक होल्डर्स हु आर द पीपुल जो who live in and around forest and dependent on forest product for various aspects of their life. देन आता है फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट का। देन आता है नेक्स्ट आता है फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट्स which have owned the land and control the resource from the forest. देन आता है हमारा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, from those who use bamboo leaves to make beads to the new ones with paper mills who use various forest produce. Then the wildlife and the nature enthusiasts who want to conserve nature in the pristine form. Then the wildlife and nature enthusiasts, they also want to conserve it. Okay, so a major program जो that is called its silviculture, it has been started to replenish the forest by growing more trees and plants. प्लांट और ट्री मोर ग्रो करके उसको क्या करना है? रिप्लेनिश अगेन। ओके, सो दैट आर नोन एज द सिल्विकल्चर। इट इज ए वे, इट इज नॉट द ओनली वे, इट इज वन वे। ओके, सो कंजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं हम? वन वे है एफॉरेस्टेशन। एफॉरेस्टेशन क्या है? It is the growing of forest on unprotected barren lands, जहाँ पर there is no forest before, that is the barren land. Okay, where there was no forest before, we have to plant in that area, that is afforestation. ठीक है, वन महोत्सव है this tree plantation movement carried out twice a year, generally February and July. Recently we had observed in our school also, and by both the government and voluntary agency. It is done by the voluntary agency or other organization also involved. It is obeyed by all over our country. Then आता है reforestation. That means it is developing forest cover the area which has been damaged or cleared during exploitation. That means it was forest and it was cleared. After that we again plant trees at that place, that is reforestation. Clear? Then next आता है हमारा separation of commercial forestry. जो यूजफुल प्लांट्स है, that are the useful plants, okay, required by the industry should be planted separately, which should be on a preferable on a wasteland. So growing industry required plant is called production plantation, उसको हम बोल सकते हैं। ओके, नेक्स्ट आता है हमारा ग्रेजिंग. The grazing should be regulated. Grazing should be regulated according to the availability of pasturage. Deforestation, removal, decrease or deterioration of forest cover on an area is called deforestation. Okay, so deforestation होने से what are the effects of deforestation? Deforestation होने से क्या हो सकता है, इफेक्ट्स क्या क्या है. इफेक्ट्स ऑफ डिफोरेस्टेशन में फर्स्ट आता है हमारा सॉयल इरोजन. रिमूवल ऑफ प्लांट कवर एक्सपोज करता है टू द फर्टाइल सॉइल टू विंड एंड वाटर. व्हेन प्लांट कवर व्हिच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन द सॉइल इट इज रिमूव्ड, देन द फर्टाइल सॉइल विल बी एक्सपोज. सो द इट रिमूव द टॉप सॉइल एंड मेक द एरिया इनफर्टाइल. सो क्या होता है, इनफर्टाइल हो जाता है. क्लियर. देन आवर डिजर्टिफिकेशन. डिजर्टिफिकेशन यह है रिमूवल ऑफ फॉरेस्ट कवर इन द प्लेन एरिया व्हिच मेक्स द एरिया ड्राई. तो मतलब इट मेक्स द एरिया ड्राई एंड इन हॉट सीजन द सॉइल बिकम्स लूज. ओके, air currents take away the fine soil particles leaving behind the sand. That means it is a way towards the formation of desert. Yes or no? When the barren land forest cover in a plains dry हो जाएगा, then it will automatically air currents और water हो सकता है, जो भी हो सकता है, it will wash away. Okay, it is in a process of desert. Then comes to our floods. In rainy season, temporary rivulets are formed due to loss of absorption capacity by the unprotected soil. That means in which soil there is no forest, that means their protection capacity is lost. So absorption capacity is lost. That means water is not being absorbed. So the rivulets produce floods in low and land, causing loss to agriculture, property and life. That is our floods. It is also a effect of deforestation. ये deforestation वजह की हो रहा है क्योंकि when deforestation is caused, the land is exposed, then the land water which were absorbed by the spores or through the roots of the plant is not done. So the water is lost, it don't go to the ground. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? So it is a floods is also the effects of deforestation. Clear. Then आता है हमारा destruction of wildlife. When deforestation takes place, it leads to destruction of the natural habitat. जो natural habitat है of wild animals and plants, it is destructed. Okay, so wildlife is being destroyed as they have no habitat. So they will automatically destroyed. Then comes to climatic change. There is no forest cover, so forest cover नहीं है. The summer becomes hotter and the winter becomes extra cool, and the frequency of rainfall also decreases as the most part of the water from the forest is being gone to the atmosphere, जैसे कि by the method transpiration. Okay, so there is certain climatic changes are there. So national award for wildlife conservation के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रिसेंटली इंस्टीट्यूटेड एन अमृता देवी बिश्नोई नेशनल अवार्ड फॉर वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन इन द मेमोरी ऑफ अमृता देवी who in 1931 sacrificed her life along with 363 other for the protection of Khejri tree in Khejri village near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. That we know that this woman sacrificed his life for the plant. Okay. So it has been given according to the Amrita Devi Bishnoi name, a national award has been given. Then आता है हमारा चिपको आंदोलन. It is a movement that is originated in Garhwal in early 1970. That was the result of grassroots rebel effort to end alienation of people from the forest. So Chipko Andolan is a tree hugging movement in which the villagers compel the examine to stop tree felling by embracing and forming a ring or circle around the marked tree. That means जो excavator which come to cut the trees, they protest against him by covering the trees or by protecting the trees or by hugging the trees. So it was the protection of Sal forest in West Bengal. Also it was in 1972 में हुआ था. To save environment, there are I'm telling 3 are reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce means use less, save the resource by not wasting them. Recycle means segregate the waste that can be recycled and used to make required things, that is recycle. Then reuse means use the things again and again, that is reuse. Okay, how water is a resource. Water is basically necessity for all terrestrial forms of life. Regions of water scarcity are closely related to regions of acute poverty. Failure to sustain water availability has resulted in loss of vegetation cover, diversion for high water demanding crops, and pollution from industries, urban waste, and less rain. Then irrigation methods like we can say the dams, tanks should be used in various parts of India. So what are the advantages of using dam? So water from the dam is used for irrigation purpose. How it is on the network of canals. And it also, that means dam also ensure around the area water supply to the crop fields and help to raise the agricultural production. Then water from dam is supplied to people in towns and city through pipeline after suitable treatment. In this way, construction of dams ensure continuous water supply in the region. The falling water, or we can say that the flowing water from the dam is used for generating electricity. The water rushing down the dam turn turbines which run electric generator. Then we will study next disadvantages of dam in the next class.